Dear people, so this recording is one of two for you to use as a home practice over the holidays, which I promised for you. This one is slightly gentler and slower, perhaps for those who are a bit newer to yoga or for looking for a gentler practice. And the other one a little bit more dynamic and a bit quicker. So if this is the first time you followed a video recording of a yoga practice, then it might be a bit awkward for you. And remember, you can pause anytime you want. You can pause it if you want to repeat something or do something again, or you're not sure where you are. So that's the advantage. But it's also important to remember that as well as following what I'm offering, you're also following the rhythm and the flow of your breath, and you're being guided by your body. So let your body tell you what's right for you today. And whatever I'm offering is something just to guide you. So we'll start by finding our breath, hands coming onto the belly, lower belly. That softening of the diaphragm, sense of relaxing your shoulders down away from your ears, sitting tall in the spine, letting go. Some tensions might be accumulated in your body, and we begin to notice where they are. We can let them go. And the breath can become deeper and slower if we allow it. We give ourselves permission. Breathing in through the nose, letting the hands move forward as the belly swells on that inhale, that deep inhale. And exhaling through the nose, belly softening back towards the centre. Let's do 3 of those together, 3 deep breaths. Shoulders gliding down on the exhale, softening. Lovely. Okay, let's open the hands now. And breathing in, the arms float up. We're lifting up through the side body, palms meeting at the top and tracing down through that midline, that centre line in front of the heart, Anjali Mudra, the prayer position. Our fingers can interlace now as we press down and have a stretch out through our hands. So stretch your palms out. Good, and pressing forward. As you press forward, bring the chin down towards the chest and open the back of the neck and the upper back. Continuing up with the arms now, elbows stay a little bent so that we're not crowding into our ears. That's it, still opening the hands, lifting up through the side body. Let the breath bring your hands down onto the top of your head, resting the shoulders nice and soft. Good. Keep the elbows back. And we'll change the clasp at the top now. So just change the clasp something more like this so that we can bring one elbow down to the side. Good. Other elbow on top of the head, spine stays tall. And switch sides. That's it. Good. Feeling into your shoulders. And bring it up. Release the hands, carry the arms down, round the back, arms back behind in that space. Open up the pectorals at the front there, wide collarbones. Catch hold behind and squeeze back, away from your back body, down and away. Good. Chin draws back again towards chest. That's it. And release as you come round the front, cross the arms over, hands on the legs. That's right. Relax the shoulders. Breathe. So ready for our twist. Top arm sweeps back around 45 degrees, turning round behind, looking to the hand. And your exhalation invites you to come round and back underneath. Good. Inhale, sweep it, lift and turn. Exhale, come through and under. One more time each side. Inhale, lift and turn. Exhale, through and under. Last one, inhale. Exhale, back through and under. Lovely, well done. And uncross. Hands on the mat in front, shoulder distance apart. Move them forward as you lean forward to wherever you can comfortably come to. Head between the upper arms perhaps. Still your sitting bones in contact with your blocks or your cushion, whatever you're sitting on. Good. Long spines. And slide it back up. Brilliant, well done. Well, with our ears in line with our shoulders, this tells us that our head's on top of spine. We're going to turn the nose now, left to right a few times, moving through the neck. Just feel it glide through there. There might be tension here. The maximum anyone will have in this range is 180 degrees as we turn our head left to right. Unless, of course, you're an owl, in which case you can spin your head right round. But anyway, so one more time, left to right, just freeing up your neck. And back to the centre. Well done. Let's come off the block now if you were sitting on one. Place that to the side because we're going to lie down. So bring yourself around into this position where your feet are in full contact with the mat, flat on the mat. Good. And when you're ready, then you can roll down onto your back. Roll down. Good. Take a moment to get settled. Feet underneath your hips. And we're going to take the feet up in the air, arms over the top. Let's follow a breath. It's always nice to do that. So breathing in, you stretch the feet up towards the ceiling, arms over the top, fingernails to the floor above, and bending the knees, we're going to come back down. Follow your breath back down and touch to the mat. And again, inhale, lift up the feet into the air, reach over the top, long limbs. Exhaling in time with your breath or just behind it, don't overtake your breath. Good. One more, inhale up and over, exhale all the way back down, rest it to the mat together and have a little roll left to right now with your knees just loosening up. Feel let go of your belly here. It's possible to let go of your belly. And just loosen up through the hips. Good. And we're ready for our bridge pose now. I'd like us to do this with our arms in this position. So have your elbows bent or out to the side if that's more comfortable for you. Back of the hands on the floor. Chin tucked in a little bit. When you're ready, the feet are underneath the knees. You press down into the heels. And you peel the spine up off the floor, rolling your spine up, your chest coming towards your chin, pressing into the feet. The strength comes from your thighs, not your bottom. And rolling back down, feel it. There might be stiffness or soreness in your back. Feel what's going on, just be with it. 2 more times, breathing in as you roll up. Breathing out as you roll back down. Last one. Feel each section of your spine and eventually the weight of the hips arrives back on the mat. Take a moment there just to feel that. And then we can bring the knees up towards us, gently rest the hands on the top and coming into Apanasana. We know this one, most of us, we do. And we can move around a bit here if we like, into the lower back. You may have been standing up, you might be doing this practice in the evening, you may have been standing up today and your back might be a bit stiff, or perhaps you've just been sitting around and that's another reason why your back might be a bit stiff. Good. Let's place the feet back to the mat now. And we're going to lift one foot up and stretch up towards the sky with our heel. So pull the toes back. We don't have to have this leg absolutely straight. We can have the knee a little bit unlocked if we like. Find a place in space for you that enables you to lengthen it, to feel as if you're opening through the back of that leg. Your arms might be long enough to reach behind. If they're not, then rest them to the floor. Good. And now this bent knee can straighten as well. So we're sending that foot away. Sorry, I've got slightly the wrong place on the mat. That's it. We're sending that foot away and sending that one up. So one goes away, one goes up. Good, that's it. And bend that top knee now. Place it back to the mat and slide the other heel back to join it. Good, take a moment and we'll switch it over. So the other foot goes up in the space. Press your heel towards the sky, curl the toes back. If the knee prefers to be unlocked, leave it a little bent, but go as much towards a straight leg as you can. Doesn't matter where the leg is in space, just go as much towards straight as you can. That's it, feel that opening through the back, and then we slide away through the leg along the floor, send it away. Good, pressing into those heels, pressing. Lovely. And bend the top knee and bring it back to the mat. Both knees bent once more. Bring it in and have a little hug in again to the knees. That's it. To the chest. Well done. We're coming up to our sitting position now. So come back up however you like onto your bottom and then round onto all fours. I'll just give you a moment to find your way. Remember, you can pause the video if at any point you need to. So from this position on all fours, pressing down into the hands so we're not sagging between the shoulder blades and drawing up underneath, giving organ support to the spine. Lift one knee, just one, not on the knee, sorry, your foot. Lift your foot so the foreleg is in the air and just have a little bit of a waggle about in the space with the lower part of the leg. Feel how that articulates in your hip joint. You can feel your hip joint moving. Good, well done. And now with the same foot, you're going to reach out the back and rest the instep to the mat. The instep to the mat. Some of you will know where I'm going with this. We're opening up. That's right. Roll the ribs round. Spin the heart round. Open the chest. The top shoulders can sink down towards the spine. That's it. Spread your hand out. Look up. Breathe. Keep your waist lifting as you reach over the top slowly. Keep your waist lifting. Nice long line and bring the hand back to the mat. Lovely. And bring the knee in. Okay, other leg. So lift the foot up. You're on the knee and just have a bit of a waggle about. You will notice at some point during this practice you'll be thinking, oh, I wish I had extra cushions, or I shouldn't have put my mat there, or whatever. That's all part in the learning of how to practice yoga differently from home. May have not done it before. Good. And rest it down. Stretching out the back now, turning so that you can rest on the instep. Good. You may want to shift this supporting hand. Inhale, spin it round. Look up, spread your hand out. Let your shoulder at the top there just sink in against the spine. Good. Keeping the waist lifted, the torso lifted. Reaching over slowly, slowly. Nice long line through the top. And bring it back to the mat and bring the knee in. That's good. Let's spend a couple of breaths together in puppy dog or half dog. Doesn't really matter what we call it. We know what happens here, hopefully. The knees are underneath the hips, but we need to tilt the pelvis first. We need to lift the back of the hips. So lift your tailbone, that's it, and then we're going to come down onto the elbows. Keep your pelvis where it is, move your elbows forward, and rest your forehead to the mat between the elbows. Good. Rest your forehead down. Maybe you've got a cushion for that or a block as well. And let's have 3 breaths here together, just letting the front rib cage sink towards the ground. The exhalation is the one that really helps you to find where those tight spots are around your shoulders, or underneath your arms. Let it go, so releasing on the exhale. Lovely. Now, lift your forehead and walk the hands back. That's it, coming back onto the all fours position. And what feels really nice after that half dog is the cat pose. So your tailbone drops down now as you curl it under. And you begin to scoop up your belly towards your spine. And you tuck the chin towards the chest, pressing in the hands. Feel how this opens the back body. Good. That's it, keeping in this round shape for a moment. That's it. And back towards a neutral spine. Lovely. And the next thing we're going to do is an upward facing dog, just a soft version. The shoulders need to stay over the hands for this. So keep your shoulders over your hands. If it's at all possible for you, roll your inner elbows towards the same direction that your fingertips are facing, front of the mat. Walk the knees back 3 or 4 inches. And I recommend you have the elbows a little bit bent. This switches on the muscles in your arms and shoulders to enable you to have the strength to keep them down away from the ears as we drape the hips down. So have strength in your arms, push into your hands, elbows unlocked, crown of the head rising. And this is going to enliven your upper back. It will enliven your upper back. Good. Keep the arms strong. And we'll pull back now from the lower belly. Pull the weight of the hips back all the way and sit back towards your heels. Rest the elbows down. Rest the forehead down. Extended child pose. Just take a moment. And we'll slide it up. Your wrists might be feeling it a bit now, so let's give them a little roll out because we've just been on our hands for a moment. We're going to take down facing dog next, so roll them through just to release them, give them a shake out. Okay, so back onto all fours, toes tucked underneath, and shifting your hips back towards your heels, toes tucked. Lift the knees and bring that tailbone to the top. You may need to shift the feet a little bit. Good. And as the weight of your shoulders sinks down onto your upper arm bones, you'll feel that your ears are somewhat going a little bit towards the thumbs. Have a little pedal now between your heels, one heel down then the other. Have a little pedal, just a warm up through the back of the legs. But remember, we're releasing the spine here too, so let your neck be long, let your face be relaxed. Check you're not gritting your teeth. Maybe have a smile, that will help. Good. And rest it back down onto both knees. Lovely. So we're coming into a forward bend now, a standing forward bend, Uttanasana. So bring one foot underneath you, flat on the floor, and have your fingertips touching the mat so that you can lean on them a bit, because we need to for a moment. And we're going to lift the bum up, step the other foot in, leaning on your hands just a tiny bit until your feet are underneath the hips. And then you shift the weight back into your ankles. You let your arms dangle down. Ragdoll pose. Good. Knees unlocked for most people. If you lock the knees back in this one, it will also lock up the lower back. So let your head go. Relax the jaw. Feel through the back of your neck. Getting a bit longer. The back of your neck getting a bit longer. And we're not going to stay here too long. We don't want to feel overly lightheaded when we come up. So let's pull up the lower belly, navel towards lumbar spine. Sink a bit in the knees so the hips can give you some flexion, and up we can come. Breathing in, and breathing out. That's it. And of course it takes a moment just to orientate to being in this standing position, doesn't it? We're up off the floor. We're breathing. Good. We're organising our weight over the feet. We're coming into mountain pose, Tadasana, mountain pose. Ears in line with shoulders, arms loose by the sides of your body. Good. Knees unlocked. Feel that sinking, that grounding as you come to your centre, that feeling of being centred and grounded. The weight is even in both legs. Open the palms now towards the same way you're facing. Feel how your collarbones smile a little bit wider and your shoulders sit down. Inhaling, float the arms up, and as you come up above the crown of the head, the right hand just takes hold gently at the back of the left wrist. Keeping equal weight in both feet, we'll lean over to one side. Oh, lovely stretch down through the side body, that's right. Good, keep weight in both feet. Make sure you can breathe. If you're struggling to get a breath, then maybe you need to come up a little bit. And to the top. Exhale the arms down. Roll it back out to the front with the palms. Good. Inhaling up again. And this time left hand takes hold the back very gently of the right wrist and over to the left. Over to the left. Good. Lifting out through the right waist. Keeping some equal pressure down through the soles of both feet. And inhaling back up and exhaling down. Good. Give it a little roll out here. So as you know, I don't feel any yoga practice is complete without a balancing pose, because balancing is so important, and it's the thing that we lose as we go through life if we don't practice it. Well, like all things, we lose if we don't practice them, but it's very important to have good balance. So let's do a balancing pose together. Nothing complicated apart from the need to focus very intently on what's going on. Bring up your left hand now and imagine that it's resting on a pillow or a column of air at the side. Begin to transfer your weight into the left leg without this hip rolling out to the side, so keep it over your ankle joint. Good. And when you're ready and you feel all the weight in the left foot, up comes the right knee and you're going out to the side and just taking hold somewhere, anywhere you can. That's right. Keep pressing down into the earth, rising into the crown of the head. Know that this won't be stock still. Balancing poses are not stock still. And back to the earth. Both feet on the ground. Take a steadying breath. Other side. Right hand, just softly. Keep the shoulder relaxed, resting as if on an invisible column of air. Well, air is invisible. Anyway, so shift the weight to the right leg, keeping the hip directly over the ankle joint. When you feel that left knee soften, you're fully weighted in your right side. Bring the leg up and maybe a bit out. You don't have to go to the side if you don't want. You can stay in front. Being on one foot is enough. Don't forget to breathe. That's right. And bring it back to the front and down. Rest it to the floor. If you came out before I did, that's fine. Just do what you can. Let's take the change of air. So we're going to bring all the new air into the lungs and let all the stale air out. Inhale, sweep the arms up, fill up with new air. Exhale it all out. And again. Now, and the very last one now. Fill it up. And exhale it all out. Just enough time for a wide forward bend so we can work on the inside of the legs. Step the feet a bit wider now so that you've got insteps parallel. And we want to feel firm in the outside edges of the foot. So make sure that the outside and inside edges of the foot are firmly planted on the mat. And as you press down, you can also potentially imagine the feeling that you're drawing the feet together. You're not, but if they were coming towards one another right now, this energizes the legs. It makes the legs feel very strong and firm all the way up into the lower belly, which of course they're attached to the lower belly, aren't they, our legs? So nice and firm. Good. And then hands resting easy on your hips as you fold over, long spine, down you go, hands down. Let the head go, legs still firm, but loose everywhere else. So it is possible to have, although we're one piece, it is possible to have some parts of our body active while other parts are relaxed. And this is the skill of being able to notice where you need to make an effort and where you don't. Last breath here, soft shoulders, soft neck, and then driving down into your feet now, push up, inhale, bring it out, and down through this middle line. Lovely, that's right, shoulders soft, bring the heels in, have a little squat here, squeeze it down, that's it, and press it back out, lovely. All right, let's turn the feet back to the front, step in, and we're coming back down onto the mat now. And at this point, I would say that if you've kept up with the practice, you might be ready to have some rest after we've done this last thing. So that's for you to take on your own. I'm not going to record me lying here on a mat, so we'll take one last stretch together. So as you come down onto your back again, step the feet wider apart and the knees, bring it down onto your back. Let the arms be a bit away from your side bodies. Good, palms up, nice and easy. Snuggle your heart down into the floor. That's right, feel the weight of your head resting, nice and easy here. Take a moment just to be out of gravity and notice how nice that is. And we'll roll the knees over to one side, both knees coming onto the edges of the feet, or the sides of the feet. So one knee is in the centre and the other one has probably rolled off to the side of the mat. They may not be touching the floor, mine aren't. They're probably hanging off the hips a bit, but that's okay because we're stretching into this belly, into the psoas muscle, which is into the belly. And the knees hanging over to the side there, the weight of your legs will help to facilitate that for you without you having to do anything. Apart from perhaps take a couple of nice easy breaths that we can take into the belly like we did at the beginning. So in through your nose, down to the belly, feel it expand. Exhale, feel it soften back. Couple more of those. And of course you're free to stay there a bit longer if you like, but the other place to go is to the other side. So we'll roll over with the knees to the other side, to the left, and let them hang there. So you're on the other edge of the feet. 3 deep breaths into the belly. Inhale, feel that expansion. Exhaling, letting go. Not just in your belly, but through your legs, right down into your toes. Good. Last one. And bring the knees to the top, into the chest. So this is your opportunity now, if you're taking this practice in the evening or whenever you're taking it really, to process and assimilate what we've been doing by spending some time, stillness and quietness on your own in Shavasana, just to process and absorb the practice for yourself. So feel free to take that now, or you may be choosing to continue with your life. See you again next time. Take care, everybody.